So when I started this YouTube channel, it was basically an idea I had. Instead of writing a book, I was going to tell my life tales in a series of videos. So each one of these videos is essentially a chapter in my book that I'm not writing. Tonight, I've got a tale for you guys that has nothing to do with rock and roll at all, but you might find it intriguing, maybe not. But before I begin, could I ask anybody that's watching the channel for the first time, would you be so kind and maybe subscribe to the channel to help me make it build? Up. Could you maybe like the story at the end if you do like it, and leave a comment and share if you would like. We're going to go back to the year 1983. Actually, let's go back to 1981. 1981, I'm living in Venice, Illinois, down by East St. Louis, a very rough area. Population 900. Lots of hard times in Venice, but I survived. One of the weird things that happened when I was living in Venice, Illinois, was one night on the TV news, they interrupted the broadcast to say that President Ronald Reagan had been shot and they had apprehended the assassin. Well, the assassin's name was John Hinckley Jr. Not only did he shoot Ronald Reagan, but he shot Press Secretary James Brady, police officer Thomas Delahanty, and also Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy. This happened in March of 1981, and we were just kind of shocked, like, wow, somebody tried to take out the president, but the president survived. However, John Hinckley Jr. was sent to a mental hospital and locked up. I didn't really give it much more thought. You know, it was just another day in American craziness, right? Well, a couple years later, 1983, I'm back living in Peoria, Illinois, and I'm publishing fanzines under the name Bloody Mess Publications. Well, every time I would put out a magazine under the name Bloody Mess Publications, I would send that to get reviewed in different fanzines across the world, including one called Flipside out of California. It had a big readership, readers all over the world, basically, from coast to coast and even other countries. Well, they actually listed my fanzine one time, for the first or second time, Bloody Mess Publications, with my address, and send a couple bucks and you'll get a fanzine from me, right? Well, one day my mom brings me the mail, and I was getting lots of mail at the time. And lo and behold, there was a letter from St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C. I was like, wow, I wonder who this is from. And it was made out to Bloody Mess Publications. So I thought, well, somebody's ordering my fanzine from some hospital in Washington. We did not have the internet back then. I couldn't look it up and verify anything. But when I opened the letter, much to my surprise, I had received a letter from John Hinckley Jr. Yep. He apparently was a fan of underground music and was subscribed to Flipside. Well, he saw the name of my fanzine, Bloody Mess Publications, and he sent me a letter. I no longer have the 2 letters I got from this guy because all my stuff burned in the storage fires where all my stuff was at in the Alameda 2020 fires here in California and Oregon, where I live in Oregon. It was awful. I lost it all, man. But there is some good news to the story. Basically, John Hinckley said to me, "Hi, I'm locked up. I heard about your publication, but I have no money, but I'd love to get a copy." And that's about all it said. And then it said, "Sincerely, John Hinckley Jr." And I'm like, no way. This can't be real. And then I showed it to some people in the punk rock scene, and they all were telling everyone, oh, Bloody's just made that up. There's no way John Hinckley wrote to him. But he did, man. And what happened was, I was like, this has got to be the real guy. So I did. I sent him a free copy of my fanzine. And about a month later, I got another letter back. The good thing is, that letter was published in a book. And I've got the book with me. Yep. This book came out in 2009. You can find it under Arcadia Publishing. This is a book called It Didn't Play in Peoria, Missed Chances of a Middle American Town. And this was written and co-authored by my dentist at the time and my friend, Dr. Greg Wall, along with Charles Bobbitt. So this book has got a lot of interesting stuff about Peoria, Illinois, including the fact that John Hinckley sent me this letter, which I'm going to read to you guys. So it says, Dear BM, does that stand for bowel movement? Dear BM, I enjoyed your mag. I'd like to hear your band, so send a cassette, which I did. What the hell are you doing in Peoria, of all places? J. Hinckley. See? So that was kind of shocking to know that I was writing to the Ronald Reagan's presidential assassin, but I figured, wow, just another guy that's into weird stuff like me, you know? So after I sent him the cassette and another magazine, I never heard from John again, even though I sent him a letter asking questions and trying to see what was going on with him. That was the end of the letter I got from John Hinckley Jr. But that was a trip, man. And this book is highly recommended if you're into history or if you're from Central Illinois. A really good book, man. But you know, it was bizarre. When that happened, again, nobody believed me. Everyone thought I was making it all up. And all I can say is, you know, the guy was released from prison in 2022, finally. Ronald Reagan's son actually spoke up on his behalf and said he should be out now. Now, Brady at the time, who was still alive, was against it, but they did let him out. And I think Brady did succumb to his illnesses because of all that bad health he had from being shot sometime after that. I don't recall. But that's my story, my friends. And if you would consider subscribing to my channel, that would be awesome. And if you could give it a like and leave a comment and share, that'd be cool too. I do have another cool rock tale tomorrow and a lot more stories, man. I still got over 950 stories in a notebook, and I've got more popping up every day in this head of mine. Thanks a lot for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for listening, and keep it real, man. Cheers.